Hey guys, Chris here. In this video, we are doing the Motorway range test in the Neo ES8. So today, we're going to find out just how far this car can go on a full charging battery on a motorway at motorway speeds of 110 kilometers an hour. That's about 70 miles per hour. And then at the very end of the video, we're going to put this car into a chart to see how it actually compares to the competition. And the car that is the most similar we have done this test with is the BYD Tang, which is also a full-size electric SUV with 3 rows of seating. This is a huge car. It's actually a little bit longer than that BYD Tang at over 5 meters long. So yeah, this is a very large car. And per usual, we're starting here at Skedsmo Center. We're going north to the Mjøs Tower and then back again, 233 kilometers round trip on today's test. And also per usual, this video is sponsored by Eviny Bilkraft. They are one of the largest providers of lightning, fast and rapid charging here in Norway. So if you want to support the channel, there will be a link to their app in the description box down below. It's pretty awesome. It won't only show you the cost and the speed, it will actually give you a charging curve of your charging session. So today's conditions, 6 degrees Celsius. We do have a little bit of a tailwind on our way up to Mjøs Tower of 4 meters per second, which should calm down a little bit when we get a little bit more north. And the roads are dry and we do have a little bit overcast, a little bit of sun. So guys, we're gonna go to probably close to 100% here. I don't know how slow this car charges from, we're now at 81% to 100%, it says half an hour. So we're gonna go to 100% and I'll see you guys on the road. We are now off Skjermijk and we've been on the road for about half an hour, done 51 kilometers, and we are now crossing the Minnesundbrua. We can check the windsock here, so it is quite calm outside. Roads are dry and yeah, the weather is like partially cloudy, a little bit of sun. Here we have some sunlight, which is really nice. So usually this is the part of the video where I tell you guys the consumption, but interestingly enough, like other Chinese EVs I have tested, this does not have a readout for average consumption. You can only do the past 100 kilometers and 10 kilometers, but not for the trip. But what it does have is that it has the total consumption, 13.9 kilowatt hours per 13.9 kilowatt hours in general. And then we can also see the battery percentage, 85% left. We started at 100%. So that means we've used 15%. So that means at the end of the video, we'll have to do some calculations. I'm not going to do them now on camera. We'll have to do it off camera. And I also want to show you something else, guys. Just going to go into the right lane here. So you have this cool display here in the middle. So we're now on pilot. So it's doing auto steering. So if I take my hands off the steering wheel like this, it's auto steering. But earlier you can see the wheel is turning, but earlier it was like kissing or holding the line on the right side, and it was like just beeping because the lane keep was like, oh, don't kiss the line, don't drive on the line. And I'm like, but you're doing the driving car, you're doing the auto steering, and then you're hugging to the line. It was like super annoying. So thankfully here, the past, I don't know, a few kilometers, it's keeping the car in center. But when it's hugging the lane on auto steer and then it's in conflict with other safety systems with the car, it's kind of annoying. And here we have a little bit of traffic. We're gonna go into the left lane here and then we're gonna pass. But yeah, so generally this car is also quite quiet on the motorway, but there is a bit of tire noise from these large wheels. So below 100 kilometers an hour, it is much quieter than it is once you get rolling. It does, you know, intrude some of that noise into the cabin. And it also does so many bings and bongs and bings. It's super annoying. We're now in auto steer. Yeah. Okay. So it's not holding the line here, which is really nice. So we're going to continue on, guys, now, and I'll catch up with you when we get to our turnaround point. Okay guys, here we have it. This is the Mjøs Tower, the Mjøs Tower, the tallest wooden building that is habitable in the world. And this is also our exit, the exit here on the E6 motorway. We are now halfway. So according to the car, we have used 30.9 kilowatt hours, 30.8, oh, we got some back in while regenerating, 30.8 kilowatt hours. We're also down to, let's see, 66% battery. So again, we do not have, you know, a readout here for consumption, but quick math shows that the consumption is around 26, 27 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, which, considering the size of the vehicle, and it's now plus 2 degrees Celsius outside, I don't think that is too shabby at all. Actually, I do not think that is bad for being this large of a vehicle. So actually, that is quite impressive. This is a huge car, guys. So still though, we have had a tailwind on our way up here, so we're going to go back to our starting point. We should have a slight headwind that should increase the consumption, but still, I don't know, how much is it going to increase? Well, we'll just have to find out. So we're going to get away from this truck here because it's just, yeah, making things really dirty, and I'll catch up with you when we get back to Oslo. This here is our exit 45, and yeah, we still have some daylight. We're heading towards, yeah, lighter times, more daylight as the sun has turned, which is really nice. I mean, just a month ago it would be pitch black now, but it's 4 o'clock and we still have some daylight. And look at this, guys, clear blue sky. So you can look at the consumption now, or how much energy we used, 23.4. That's because I had to stop after a little more than an hour on the road because I was getting so much pain in my legs from sitting. For you guys who don't know, I had surgery just a few weeks ago, so I'm on crutches. I have a lot of pain. Means I can't, you know, just be driving cars for hours on end. So let's take a look at the battery usage. We're here with 25% battery. That is not bad at all. So we use 75% battery. So we're gonna connect to the charger here again where we started. We're gonna see what kind of charging speed we do get now after a few hours on the road. And then we're gonna take a look at the range of this EV and how it stacks up against the competition. We're now connected and charging, but this car doesn't seem to have a kilowatt readout anywhere. We have the battery percentage there, we have the range, we have the time until we're finished, and then if we go into battery here, we have the same information here. So we'll have to wait until the app updates here to get the actual charging speed. Let's see, there we get it. Okay, so we are now charging at 100.61 kilowatts, which is, I don't know if that's a good speed. I think this has a peak speed of 120 kilowatts, but we are at 27%, so maybe that charge is, faster when we're down low in the battery percentage, but 100 kilowatts, yeah, it's not too bad, but I mean, it's not the best either because this having such a big battery, 100 kilowatt hours gross capacity, this should be able to charge much faster. So I'm going to do some calculations off camera now because I'm going to have to calculate the actual net battery capacity of this car to gauge the actual range based on also today's consumption. I'll have to calculate today's consumption. I could not find any information online about the actual, net capacity of this battery, so we're going to have to do some calculations, and I'll see you guys in a sec. Before we end today's video, let's take a look at the battery pack size, the consumption, and then calculate theoretical range. So I've had to do a lot of calculations off camera because I couldn't find any information online about the net battery capacity of this car. So I've had to calculate that from the numbers and the information. Not only that, the car doesn't even give us an average consumption since the trip computer was reset. So based on all the information we've gotten, you know, the actual consumption of battery and also the battery percentage used, I've had to do these calculations. So from my calculations, we used 75% of the battery, and that was 65.3 kilowatt hours. So if you do the calculations backward, that works out to a net battery capacity of 87 kilowatt hours. This having a gross capacity of 100 kilowatt hours, that seems kind of, in line with other EVs. So if we take all of these numbers, we come out to an average consumption of 28.0 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. And considering the size of this car, that is actually quite impressive and better than what we got with the BYD Tang. Yes, conditions were nice today. It was sunny most of the time. It was dry and between 3 and 6 degrees Celsius. But we did have a little bit of wind, but not too bad. So if we take that number and then we divide it by the battery pack size and then we subtract about 3% in heat loss, we get a theoretical range under today's conditions of 302 kilometers, which actually is impressive for being this big of a car now in winter. I did not expect more than 300 kilometers of range in this huge electric car. So that is actually quite impressive considering the size of this thing. Remember, this is more than 5 meters long, a 3-row full-size electric SUV where you actually sit very high like you would in every other SUV. It's not like these pseudo SUVs like a Hyundai Ioniq 5 where it's a little bit raised. You sit proper high in this car. And also the climate control, like the other Chinese cars I've been driving here on the channel, you have to run them like 4 or 5 degrees warmer than another car. So I've been running the climate at around 24, 25 degrees on the screen here, but it's been quite cold. It's been chilly. I've been wearing my jacket, so it's not really comparable to other cars. And also, I was not running in eco mode. I was running in an individual mode where everything was set to eco, but the suspension was lowered. So this was the guy at Neo set up the car for me like this. He meant that this was the best mode to get the best results. So guys, let me know in the comment section down below what you think about this car. I'm impressed by the consumption and also the actual range we got today. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below, and for more car content, as always, please subscribe. See you guys later and goodbye.